New York pizza meets New York bagel. Aren't you glad I said Frosty? And hey, did this Coke bottle used to belong to you? We're rounding up some of this week's biggest fast food and snack food stories right now. But before we lay on the sugar, give us a hot subscribe at The News Refresh on YouTube for more weird and interesting news stories each and every day. Thanks. Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. When pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime. I believe those words were either penned by William Shakespeare or taken from a jingle from a 1990s commercial for Bagel Bites. I can't remember which. But just recently, the pizza people populating Pizza Hut have partnered with purveyors of Primo Pre-Dawn provisions to present the limited edition Big New Yorker Pizza Bagel. Yes, pizza's very huttiest have taken the flavors of their Big New Yorker pizza, another 1990s icon once marketed by a different 1990s icon near giant buildings in New York, some of which, at least as of press time, he may still own, and lent their saucy, hutty talents to the Yeastie Boys, a Los Angeles-based food truck concept. As one might imagine in the marriage of pizza and bagel, the Big New Yorker tops a signature Yeastie Boys bagel with marinara sauce, Parmesan mozzarella, oregano, and double pepperoni. The good news, these things are being given away for free. The bad news, they are a very hard to come by limited edition. Last weekend, the Yeastie Boys gave some of these things away at their Los Angeles food trucks, and they were even featured in this highly competitive twerk-off posted to their Instagram, featuring people who really want to earn that bagel or at least get a head start on shaving off those calories. In the comments, I Am Iluju wrote, "Yeastie Boys bagels and Pizza Hut collab going crazy." 345 times 101 times 4,301 commented, "Trashy marketing, unfollowed." And Make America Skate Again said, "I can smell the yeast from here." But in case you weren't in LA last weekend, or you were just too twerked out to hit up the food trucks, no fear. Yeastie Boys food trucks are still giving some of these things away March 22nd and 23rd in New York City itself, as well as March 22nd through 24th in Los Angeles. Again, these things are free, and hey, QSR Magazine website claims that some will include a scratch-off for free Pizza Hut gift cards or Yeastie Boys swag. Pizza Hut hasn't said whether this rollout will extend beyond this weekend's food truck collab. So in case you miss your chance to shake that bag for a breakfast-dinner hybrid, you might just have to focus on the pants of these cartoon dogs for a microwavable equivalent. The fast food chain Wendy's will be celebrating its 55th anniversary later this year, having been founded in 1969 by Dave Thomas and named for his fourth child. The name being Wendy. One of the chain's iconic menu items has long been the Frosty, which, according to the Square Deal, Wendy's own blog, drew inspiration from a horse racing track in Ohio that was once offering up a secret formula frosted malted, which itself sounds like the name of a horse you'd find in the racing form. As noted by Reader's Digest magazine website, our fair Frosty was one of the 5 original menu items at the joint, and the chocolate flavor was the sole permanent option on the menu until the vanilla Frosty hit stores in 2006. Today, though, like cleaning out your garage, new Frosty flavors have become something of a seasonal treat. And the vernal equinox marks the introduction of a new Frosty flavor, Orange Dreamsicle. Yeah, the Orange Dreamsicle Frosty, described by Wendy itself, is said to be a meeting of the beloved childhood classic with the iconic cool creaminess of a Frosty, with sweet orange tasting notes and an eye-catching color inspired by the spring season. The Orange Dreamsicle Frosty is just the latest incarnation of Wendy's signature dessert, drink, or dip, the 3 different categories Wendy considers the dessert, drink, or dip to fall into, and joins the summertime strawberry Frosty, fall pumpkin Frosty, and peppermint Frosty in the pantheon of Frosties past. The catch, of course, there's always a catch, is that you're out of luck if you were seeking to enjoy a plain vanilla Frosty. Plain vanilla kind of being a misnomer here. As the New York Times points out, vanilla itself is considered to be one of the world's most elusive, complex, and hard to cultivate ingredients, yet somehow remains an epithet for flavorlessness. Nonetheless, the Dreamsicle Orange Frosty will be temporarily usurping vanilla's place on Wendy's menu boards for a limited time. Oh, and about those menu boards. A few weeks ago, at The News Refresh on YouTube, please subscribe, covered the story of Wendy's plan to roll out dynamic pricing to its electronic menu boards, which could see food prices fluctuate throughout the day like the NASDAQ. Our video was published before Wendy took to the Square Deal to offer up a Wendy's digital news update, clarifying that they have no plans to raise prices when customers are visiting them most, and they're mostly seeking to offer up more discounts during slow times throughout the day. Those new dynamic menu boards aren't planned out to roll out until 2025 anyway, so there's no need for you to drive over to Wendy's to let your feelings out on the drive-thru employee. That's what the internet is for. Finally, if you'd like to enjoy a bottle of Coca-Cola, heads up that there's a new bottle of Coca-Cola. It kind of looks like the old bottle of Coca-Cola, but the difference here is that this thing is a 100% recycled plastic bottle of Coca-Cola. The cable news network website says that all varietals of this new 20-ounce Coke container will be rolling out to retailers this week. And as noted by the Coca-Cola United Bottling Company, producing these recycled plastic bottles requires less energy and emits fewer greenhouse gases, compared to the production of bottles made from virgin petroleum-based sources. This is a major rollout for a company that's long paid great attention to the design of its soda containers. Yet according to this report from the environmentalists at Break Free from Plastic, those polar bears and everyone else at the Coca-Cola Company are nestled within the #1 ranking of last year's top global plastic polluters. Thanks, of course, to plastic Coke bottles. But that's not to say that Coke's sustainable soda efforts are going down the drain in vain. Back in 2018, the company set up a sustainable packaging program that hopes to make 100% of its packaging recyclable by next year, 2025, use 50% of recycled material in its packaging by 2030, and have 25% of its beverages be sold in refillable/returnable packages by then too. 2 years ago, Coke debuted an attached cap design across Great Britain, which a manager there said will help ensure that no cap gets left behind, and makes further steps towards the company's commitment to collect and recycle a bottle and can for each one that's sold by 2025. That's a noble goal, not just because we need to consider the feelings of poor orphan bottle caps, but because the most recent Plastic Waste Makers Index put out by a philanthropist group found that in spite of rising consumer awareness, corporate attention, and regulation, more single-use plastic waste than ever before was generated in 2021 compared to 2019. Coke says these new bottles won't look or feel too different from its current packaging, but it is worth pointing out while these bottles are made from 100% recycled plastic, its labels and caps are not. Maybe someday, little guy. Someday.